probably think whole life insurance is a scam, a commission machine dressed up as a savings plan. The policy an agent sells you because it pays him more than the term policy that would actually serve you better. For a long time, that reputation was earned. But run the actual math. 20 years, real dollars, both sides of the argument side by side, and something happens that neither camp likes to admit. The math says something else. This is not a video about whether whole life is good or bad. That question is a trap. It assumes there's one right answer for every family, every income, every timeline, as if the same financial product could be equally correct for a 26-year-old just starting a career and a 58-year-old counting down to retirement. There isn't one right answer. What this video actually asks is narrower and more useful. Under what conditions does a guaranteed, boring, unglamorous policy actually outperform the aggressive plan everyone tells you to choose instead? And under what conditions does it lose badly? You're going to see both, not the version either side wants you to see. The version the numbers actually produce once you stop rounding them to whatever conclusion you already believed. Start with the two camps because you've probably absorbed pieces of both without ever seeing them compared directly, in the same room, with the same 20-year clock running. On one side, Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions. Their position is simple, and it has been repeated on his show for decades. Buy term insurance, which is cheap, and invest the difference in a mutual fund. Ramsey's own materials assume a 12% annual return on that fund, 12% every year for as long as you're investing. It's an aggressive number. It's also the backbone of an entire philosophy that has shaped how millions of Americans think about life insurance, debt, and what counts as a smart financial decision. On the other side, you have people like Caleb Guilliams at BetterWealth, who published a framing in July of 2026 that reframes whole life insurance entirely. Not as a product you're sold, as an asset class you strategically hold, something that reduces volatility across your whole portfolio the same way bonds or cash reserves do for a traditional investor. His numbers are far less dramatic than Ramsey's. A combined net return of 4 to 6%, built from a 3 to 4% guaranteed floor, plus non-guaranteed dividends after taxes. No promise of getting rich. Just a claim that the guarantee itself has value most people dismiss too quickly because it doesn't feel exciting enough to matter. So you have 12% against 4 to 6%. On paper, that's not even close. 12% should crush 4, and it should crush it by a wide, embarrassing margin. If you stop the comparison there, you'd side with Ramsey and move on with your day. Most people do exactly that. It's the intuitive answer. It's also, as you're about to see, an incomplete one. Because stopping the comparison at the average return means ignoring the one variable that actually decides which strategy wins over 20 years. And it isn't the average at all. It's what happens in the specific years the average doesn't show up. Here's the setup so you can follow the numbers exactly as they were run, with nothing hidden and nothing rounded in either direction. $10,000 a year for 20 years. $200,000 contributed total in both scenarios. Nobody's cheating by putting in more money on one side than the other. Scenario 1, the Ramsey scenario. That money grows at 12% a year, invested in the market, exactly as his materials assume. Scenario 2, the whole life scenario. That same money grows at a guaranteed 4.5%, no more, no less, every single year, because that's what the contract promises the policyholder, market conditions aside. Run scenario 1 with a clean 12% every year, no interruptions, no bad decade, and the number at the end is enormous, over $800,000. That's the number Ramsey's assumption implies over 2 decades, and if the market actually behaved that smoothly, a straight, unbroken climb, year after year, this video would be 3 minutes long, and the answer would be obvious. Buy term, invest the rest, never look back. But the market doesn't behave that smoothly. You know this, even if you don't think about it often. You lived through 2008, or you grew up in a household that did, watching retirement accounts lose a third of their value in a matter of months. Maybe you remember 2000 through 2002, when the market fell for 3 straight years and didn't fully recover for the better part of a decade. These aren't hypothetical risks invented for a script. They're two of the most cited drawdown periods in modern market history, and any 20-year investing window carries a real, non-trivial chance of running straight through something like them. So the calculation was rerun with a downturn built directly into it. Not a single bad year, which the market usually shrugs off, but 3 consecutive ones styled on that 2000 to 2002 stretch. A 20% drop, then 15%, then 25%. And here's the part that matters more than the size of the drop. It was placed late in the 20-year window, years 16 through 18. Not because that's when crashes conveniently happen, but because a downturn hurts differently depending on when it lands. Early in the timeline, you have decades left to recover. Late in the timeline, close to whatever finish line you're working toward, the recovery clock is running out. And that timing, more than the severity of the crash itself, is what actually decides the outcome. Here's what that produces year by year. For the first 15 years, the aggressive scenario is never even close to the guaranteed one. It's not competitive. It's not supposed to be at 12% against 4.5%. By year 15, the aggressive scenario sits at roughly $417,000. The guaranteed scenario, plodding along at 4.5% with the emotional excitement of a spreadsheet, is at little more than $217,000. The aggressive strategy is winning by almost 2 to 1. If this video ended at year 15, Ramsey would be right decisively, and there would be nothing more worth saying on the subject. Then years 16, 17, and 18 hit. 20% down, then 15% down, then 25% down, 3 consecutive years. The way an extended downturn actually behaves instead of the single clean gut punch people picture when they imagine a crash. And that $417,000 balance, the one that had been crushing the guaranteed scenario for a decade and a half without a single close call, gets cut down to $231,000 in 3 years. While the guaranteed policy, immune to all of it by contract, indifferent to headlines, indifferent to what anyone's portfolio did that quarter, keeps climbing exactly on schedule, exactly as promised. And this is the moment the math flips quietly without announcing itself. Somewhere around year 18, the guaranteed line and the aggressive line cross. By year 20, the final numbers land here. The aggressive scenario closes at $314,660. The guaranteed scenario closes at $327,831. After 20 years of a strategy built on a 12% assumption, going up against a strategy that never promised more than 4.5%, the guarantee wins by $13,171. Sit with that for a second because it's probably not the twist you were expecting when this video opened. This isn't whole life always wins. For 3/4 of the 20-year window, it doesn't win, not even close. And pretending otherwise would be its own kind of dishonesty. And it isn't the market always loses either. Shift that same downturn earlier, years 3 and 4 instead of 16 through 18, and the aggressive scenario recovers with more than a decade left to compound, finishing far ahead, comfortably the way Ramsey's framework assumes it will. The twist is narrower than either side's talking points and more uncomfortable. The danger was never that the market falls. Markets fall regularly and they recover regularly. That's practically their nature. The danger is falling late, close enough to your finish line that there isn't time left on the other side to earn it back. That risk has a name. It's called sequence of returns risk, which raises a question neither Ramsey's framework nor BetterWealth's fully answers on its own, because both are built around a single unstated assumption about how much time you have. How much time do you actually have? Because that one number changes everything about which scenario is actually protecting you and which one is quietly exposing you. If you're 25 years into your working life with another 25 ahead of you, a downturn landing in some hypothetical year 18 barely matters. You have decades to let a recovery play out, the same way the market has recovered from every prior crash within living memory, including the ones that felt permanent while they were happening. The aggressive strategy's occasional bad decade is just noise against that kind of runway, a rough patch on a very long road. But if you're inside that final stretch before retirement, the last 5 to 10 years before this money needs to become income you actually live on, a downturn landing at exactly the wrong moment isn't noise anymore. It's the entire outcome. It's the difference between retiring on the schedule you plan and pushing those plans back by years. While you wait for a recovery, you may not have the runway left to wait for. This is where the guarantee stops sounding boring and starts sounding like the point. A 4.5% floor that never drops, never corrects, and never cares what the S&P did last quarter isn't exciting. It was never designed to be exciting. It's designed to be the part of your financial picture that doesn't move when everything else does. The ballast, not the engine. Strip away the marketing language, and that's the actual argument underneath BetterWealth's asset class framing. Not that guaranteed money outperforms aggressive money on average, because it usually doesn't. The argument is that a portion of your money not being exposed to a badly timed downturn has real value. Value a simple average return comparison completely fails to capture, because averages don't know or care when the bad years happen to land. But here's a number that neither side of this debate likes to bring up, and it matters more than almost anything else in this entire video. None of this works if you don't actually hold the policy long enough to reach the crossover. Industry data tracked by LIMRA puts the annual lapse rate on whole life policies at roughly 2.9%, meaning a meaningful share of people who buy a policy like this never make it to year 18, let alone year 20. They surrender it early, often in exactly the years when the cash value is smallest and the eventual guarantee is still furthest away, walking away from the very feature they were sold on before it ever had a chance to matter. The crossover point in this video's calculation only exists on paper for someone who actually stays in the policy long enough to reach it. A guarantee you don't hold on to isn't a guarantee. By the way, if you want the full year-by-year breakdown behind this calculation, not just the two headline numbers at the end, that's laid out in the free resource linked in the pinned comment. It's built on the same framework used for the numbers in this video, adapted so you can plug in your own contribution amount and your own number of years instead of the 20-year, $10,000 example used here. So which scenario is actually safer for you? Not for a hypothetical 20-year-old with unlimited runway ahead of them. For you specifically, with however many years you actually have left before this money needs to become real, spendable income. If retirement is decades away, a downturn landing badly is a temporary setback inside a strategy that still has plenty of time to recover from it. The aggressive scenario's long-run edge over 20, 30, 40 years is real, and dismissing it because of one unlucky 3-year stretch late in a single simulation would be its own kind of mistake. But if retirement is close, if you're already counting the years instead of the decades, the calculus changes completely, and a guarantee that can't be shaken by a bad 3-year stretch starts looking a lot less like a sales pitch and a lot more like exactly what it was built to be. Insurance against the one kind of bad luck you can't simply out-earn once the clock has run low. And that's the part almost nobody puts in writing when they hand you a verdict on this topic. The guarantee and the average return are answering two completely different questions. One is answering, what's the highest number this could probably become? The other is answering, what's the number I can count on no matter what happens? Those aren't competing answers to the same question. They're two different questions wearing the same 20-year timeline, and most of the debate between these two camps is really just two people arguing past each other because neither one says which question they're actually answering. Neither Ramsey nor BetterWealth is telling you the full story here, and not because either one is lying to you. It's because both of them are describing a single scenario as if it were universal, as if their audience were one person instead of millions of people at wildly different points on the same 20, 30, or 40-year timeline. Ramsey's 12% is real, historically speaking, averaged out over enough decades of market history. BetterWealth's 4.5% guarantee is real too, written directly into the contract, completely unaffected by anything the market does in any given year. The dishonesty was never in either number on its own. It's in presenting either one as the whole answer when the actual answer depends on a variable that's different for every single person watching this video right now. How much time is genuinely left on your clock? So no, You probably did think whole life insurance was a scam, or you thought it was the obviously smarter, safer choice, one or the other, because that's how this argument usually gets handed to you. As a verdict, already decided, not as a calculation you're invited to run yourself. It was never that simple. It was never going to be that simple. And anyone who tells you it is hasn't run both scenarios side by side. The math says something else. Not a winner, not a loser, just a question with your name already on it. How many years do you actually have before this decision stops being theoretical and starts being your retirement? Know that number, and you're not gambling on whose framework to trust anymore. You're protecting your family with the one you actually verified yourself.